Alright guys, so this is the dipstick bracket. I've just got to make a new extended version. So what I'm going to do here is copy this part of it up to here, drill out the exact holes and everything else, and then just extend this to about there. Well, we'll see. We'll put it on the car and we'll see where it wants to sit. Alright guys, so that's the rough mock-up of the bracket now. As you can see, that fits in there. I would have liked to have it a little bit more that way, so maybe I should have made that hole that way and then plonked it in there, but I think I've already mocked up once. Let me show you the first derivation of that. So yeah, I went totally the wrong way, cut too much off there, and then it just didn't work, so that was a mess. But this one seems to work a lot better, and the plan is now to fold that forward and then cut it off there. So we've got a bit of added strength and it will just look better as well. And then here on this end I'm going to fold it there, cut it off there, so it actually like sort of catches the engine and it doesn't move around. So that's the plan. I think the next step is to make sure that we've got clearance with all the pipes in place, so let's do that. Okay, at first I was thinking that's okay and it'll work, because there's about a finger's worth of room there, and I want this to sort of sit on the turret rather than near the engine. As you can see there, we've got enough clearance. But then it occurred to me that we're going to have clamps here, and that's going to be slap bang in the way. So I think I'm going to remake it. Take 3 and action. Okay, so here we have iteration 3. Iteration 3 sits on that side of the bracket. As we saw, we need a bit more clearance. And I've bent the top bit a little bit. I'm going to lop that off in a bit so it's not too long. Oh, I'm going to bend this as well so it doesn't move around. And then let's get the pipes on and see how much clearance we have. Okay, presto, we've got about 1 inch now. I'm happy with that. I think that'll work. Oh, even if you rotate the dipstick, it's not too bad. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's finalise the bracket now and tart it up a little bit, make it look nice. I've got a bit of 12mm stainless steel rod here, which was straight originally, and I've gently hammered it into a 90 degree so it goes through there and then down here, and I'm trying to manipulate it so it goes, bends around there up to about here, and then if we can get a seam down there and a seam down there, or even a few nice solid spots, that should suffice, I think. So exhaust hanger in progress. Alright guys, I've got that just about where I want it. Probably lop that off about there and fill all that up with weld, and that should be plenty strong. I'm just going to spot it for now, and then I'm going to take it to my lovely friend and he's going to fill it up. Alright, I've just put a couple of spots in place there, and on the other side. Not the best of welds, but they'll do to hold it on until I get it properly welded. So the dipstick bracket has been made and it's been painted and it's drying at the moment, so I'm just going to crack on and do some other stuff. That has been welded now fully, so I've got 2 nice little beads there on both sides thanks to my mate, and exhaust has been installed for the last time. What I have noticed about the exhaust is it sits off to the left a little bit since I bolted down the manifold. It is what it is, I guess. I can't do much about it now, but I think once it's all dressed and all on you won't notice, but it is about 10mm out onto the left, but whatever. Hangers on, nice, and that exhaust is solid in there now. So now I think I'm going to put all the sensors in, fluids in, and get everything ready for startup. I have got the airflow meter in the adapter and plugged in, so that's good. The vacuum pipe, I've actually put it back into the VCV for now. We won't be needing that straight away because I'm not planning to run the dump valve or the actuator for that matter at the moment. So let's get it fluided up. I need to put coolant on in there. It hasn't had coolant since the radiator came out, and I need to put some oil in there, so let's do that now. Okay, so for anyone who hasn't done this before, you have to take that hose there, plastic one, make sure it hasn't got any kinks in it like mine has. I'll take that out in a minute, and then put it at the highest point of the car. Same with here, so there's an extra hose with that. You put that on the top bleed nipple here and then crack that off and put that nice and high so the air comes out and the water doesn't, and the same with that one. So I've hooked both of those up to the bonnet using some gardening wire. That wire is brilliant. Somebody left it at this house before I moved here, and it's just had so many uses. You'd have seen me use it for the exhaust, for the intercooler, bloody everything is great. Anyway, back on track. Now all that remains is for me to fill the bugger up with lots of coolant and see what happens. Oh, and get that kink out. Yeah. All right. Some of you might say the car's jacked up and it's not level, but I think for the coolant filling, that's a bit of an advantage because the bottle needs to be the highest point, and it should all go down. And gravity will work with us, hopefully. I'm using this stuff. It's called Prestone. It's meant to be very good stuff. You can mix it with anything. Alright, we've just encountered another problem. The coolant isn't going down at all. If you look at the coolant tank, the bottom hose actually goes to the T-joint, and normally that would go to there. But that's going to the turbo now, so I think that's just fill the hose down to there, and it's not going to go anywhere now because it's an uphill struggle from here. So either I'm going to move that pipe up, or I'm gonna put the original pipe back on from there to there. I didn't want to really... I did pull that hose off and a little bit of this luminous coolant came out. The coolant is getting around, but it's getting around very, very slowly. So what I've done now is, as a famous man usually says, I used my genius and I created this contraption here. Have a look at that. That's working away nicely now. Still very slow, but it is working. So what I did was I got some silicone hose, 25mm internal diameter, which slots in there airtight and it doesn't let the bleed hole let fluid out, and then straight onto the bottle, cut the bottle and fill her up, and just keep feeding and feeding and feeding until we can feed no more. But we've actually got about 13 litres of this stuff to put in, and I've only managed, this is the 4th litre now, so it's going to be a lengthy process, unfortunately. That's filling up with coolant. Another issue I have, this hole here, is that's for an exhaust temperature sensor, and I don't have one of those, so I need to cap it. So I found a bolt that fits on it, and I think that's off one of the bottom arms or something. But anyway, I'm going to grind that flush, put a bit of plate over it and weld it up, and then we have a cap for that, which will be amazing. Got 10mm bolt. I'll put that in the hole like that, hold it there with the earth, weld it, and then cut it off. Alright guys, so that bolt has been welded into there. So now I'm going to cut it off. Alright, that's the cap done. Beautiful. Just need to clean it up now and paint it black. Okay guys, I don't know if you can hear that. There you go, air bubbles coming out. So I don't think you're supposed to have that hose high up. I think you're supposed to have it low, but you're supposed to bleed it out. So I'm just gonna keep pushing antifreeze through until we get no more bubbles, and then I'll be happy and I'll lock it off, and we'll do the warm cold cycle and then check everything again. Alright guys, coolant level has stood rock steady overnight, so that's good. So next thing, I think I'm going to fit the bracket that I made. Look at the finished piece. I'm quite proud of that now. All nice and lovely and done. So that will go something like that. I'll fit it in a minute and I'll show you. And then I think we'll do the sensors. Oh, something quick I need to show you. That nut that I welded with the bolt inside, that's sitting a bit proud inside, so I need to drill that out a little bit so it sits a bit further down. But overall, that has come out pretty well. It does the job. Okay, induction pipe's on. Put some anti-rattle tape there because that was hitting the turret. There's a little bit of movement there, so I'm going to figure out how I want to mount that, either to the turret or to the cross brace, or maybe down there somewhere, but we'll see about that. But otherwise, yeah, very good. Look, yeah, look, that goes directly to the duct, which is very nice. I think I forgot to mention I fitted this lovely homemade cap and managed to dig most of that metal out. Forgot to video it after, but I used a small drill bit and then a 7mm and then a 10mm. Got most of it out. A bit of a pain, but it's done. And I put a little bit of red sealer in there as well. So yep, that's done. Onto the sensors. Okay, so I'm just mocking up the sensors. So this sensor will sit in that hole and go to this plug over here. but it will actually sit in that direction because that defouler will go in there in a minute. Okay guys, we are incredibly close now. The sensor's in with the defouler. That goes up there. It's a bit too long if anything, so I might have to cable tie it or something. That one at the back, pre-cut sensor, is just perfect, and that goes straight into there. Might cable tie that down somewhere as well, just keep it out of the way. And we are ready to rock and roll, I think. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about right now is that breather hose needs to come out, that one there, out of the throttle body. So, and then I need to bung the throttle body. So let's do that. I just got to take this cover off and then get that out. Alright guys, this top breather here, venting to atmosphere for now. PCV has been disconnected, also venting to atmosphere for now. Vacuum's got a bolt in it, which used to go to the PCV. And that there has been plugged with a bit of bamboo. Okay guys, time to put the battery on and turn the key, I think. Alright guys, it's time to fire it up. Alright guys, what happened there was we've got a bit of a flood of oil down here. That was intentional. A good friend of mine told me to leave the oil feed loose just to make sure we're getting oil to the turbo. Just a precautionary measure, but I didn't expect the oil to come out at that speed. Bloody hell did it come out. So I'm just going to have a quick mop up and then we'll restart the engine, but by gosh, that is amazing. Not too loud either. Woo! Alright guys, I've topped up the oil, I've cleaned up a bit, and she's kind of warmed up now, but as you can see it's just burning off all the oil residue and stuff. But yeah, really good. No water leaks, no other leaks apart from the intentional one, and she sounds good. I mean, I think it might be a little bit loud, but we can revisit that later. And I've had another little bit of a cock up where that silicone there actually sits on the gear linkage, so we're gonna have to change that. And then I think we've got some coolant issues because we've got cold air and that coolant's gone down as well, so we're gonna have to top that up a little bit. I'm gonna remove the cap now and keep topping it up. Okay guys, I think I'm gonna call it a wrap here for this video. She runs, she starts, and it's all good. Now the next stage is going to be swap out the injectors, swap out the plugs for the colder plugs. Injectors are 470cc I believe. Plugs, one stage colder as recommended by Toyota, and plug in the ECU and the map sensor. We know it runs and it doesn't leak. We've got a coolant issue, I'll sort that out anyway. And yeah, we'll call it a day at that for now. Watch out for the next video where I do some more turbo-y stuff. Hope you enjoyed that video guys. If you did, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll be back with some more juicy content pretty soon. So watch this space. Bye for now.